who just through a series of events got stranded in my hometown in Lexington, which for a whole other reason ended up working out in our favor because it was a safe place for her. And she wasn't around her trafficker, she wasn't around the drugs, all that kind of stuff. And in regards to the plan we were working, it bought us some time to just get her in front of our volunteers, get her safe, all that kind of stuff. Well, it was that Thursday that, we had all these volunteers working with her. That Thursday, I was the one, it was my day with her. And so we finished lunch downtown. And so we're walking downtown. And we know her. She's tall, right? She is tall and attracts a lot of attention. And she sees a fountain in downtown Lexington, and she's like, "Kara, can I get in?" And I'm like, until someone says no. So she gets in. And the water must be just 1 or 2 feet, and she's under it doing the swimmer aerobics and all that kind of stuff. And, she's having a great time. She gets into my car, literally soaking wet. And it was just funny. But on Sunday I was getting ready to pick her up, drive her to church, all this kind of stuff. And I'm headed out the door, and for some reason, that whole vision flashes in my head of her, swimming in the fountain, getting in my car, soaking wet. And it was just like the Holy Spirit, rolled out of my mouth. And I just said, that won't be the last time she gets in my car soaking wet. I decree a baptism. I pick her up. We're headed to church. Our current chairman goes to this church that I'm taking to her in Lexington. She didn't know I decreed a baptism through this vision. I didn't know she was the one working on the baptismal tub that day. And apparently she had stuck her hand in the water, and when she did, she prayed, "I hope this girl would feel led to be baptized today." And so we didn't know that. We arrive. Well, when we get there, Home Slice has been on the streets all night long. She is exhausted, and she falls asleep. She misses the whole service. She doesn't know the pastor is teaching on God speaking through dreams. Falls asleep during the dream service. Well, she wakes up, and I'm just introducing her to people, and she walks to the pastor. And she, out of the blue, she just woke up from a nap. Out of the blue, she walks up to the pastor and she says, "Hey, I walked past the water tub." She doesn't even know what to call it. "I walked past the water tub and I felt something. Can I be baptized today?" And we're just going oh my gosh. At this point, Andrea doesn't know I had that decree and vision. I don't know she prayed over the water. We don't know that this girl, it was just insane. And this isn't like a church girl, right? And so, we baptized her right then and there. It was powerful. So that next week she would call me, and she's just explaining how much she's encountering God, in places and ways she hasn't before. And one day she calls and she's like, "Kara, I had a dream." I'm like, "Okay, tell me about it." And she doesn't know that she fell asleep during the dream service. And so she starts telling me about this dream. And in short, she encountered an angel on the street. Because that's where she always is. And guess what? There's always an angel with her. And she encountered this angel on the street. The angel wraps his wings around her, takes her up to heaven. She's like, "I met God." And I'm like, "Okay, what did God look like?" And this is so funny. She said, "He looked like a hippie." And so I'm going, "Dude, I think you met Jesus." Who knows? But she was like, "God looked like a hippie. I didn't expect him to look like that." The long hair, the robe. I think she met Jesus. who knows? And so she describes God or Jesus and, a white robe, and it's just so biblical. She says, I mean, he was wearing white, but all the colors were in it, which is just such a heaven thing, and she describes her dream, and God hugged her and all this kind of stuff. Anywho, this rocked our world, because unfortunately she encountered her situation later in the week. All the people in her life who are doing things to her, she got re-encountered later in the week, and want to describe that for us?
Sure. We have driven so many miles in our cars, in our hearts for this young girl, and we would drive that many more. It's just what we do and how we do it. She is worth every mile, every inch that we put on our life. She is worth that. So we have seen like just the steps of God ordaining her life, from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, which led her to Kara's hometown, which led her to that baptism, which led her to that dream. But then she was lured back to her hometown and the people that she knew. Well, these are not good people. They are her traffickers, and they have beat her up, and they have drugged her, and they have coerced her into believing that this is her life. And so one of those people gave her a hot shot, and those hot shots is where you mix multiple drugs in the needle, and you it's called banging. You bang that. So she did that not knowing that this was mixed with all these substances, and she literally OD'd. She died. She was pronounced dead. They had to revive her, and when she was brought back to life, literally, she said, the Lord really is real. Like, he really is real. So she contacted us the next morning. Hey, it's me. I need help. I want out. This is what happened. I OD'd. I died. And I woke back up and said, the Lord is real. So we are still in the process of helping her get back on her feet and have the life that she's created to have. It's a process. It's a huge process. We've been working with her endlessly for probably 5 or 6 weeks now, dozens of times, and we will just continue until she has that breakthrough, until she has the breakthrough.
I think it was just yesterday I was reading in the Bible, like, no one knows, no one can understand, no one can explain why the Lord makes the decisions he does, and why he does things the way he does. And I've just been literally trying to, like, understand, which is just silly. And I'm just like, how do you make sense? Like, the Lord gave her a dream where she went to heaven. She got baptized. She got saved that whole week. She's like, I love the Lord. I'm like, he's in the streets with me, And then she goes and she's literally pronounced dead, revived, could have gone to heaven, like, through death, comes back. I'm just sitting here like, Lord, I don't understand your ways. I don't understand. I just don't understand. All I know is she has another chance. This isn't the life that she's made for, but she knows you're real. And so I don't even know how to explain any of it. It's why the Lord's choosing to do it this way, but
Tora, it makes me think of a quote from Charles Spurgeon, and he said it so well. How beautiful a soul must be that both God and the devil are warring after it at the same time. And that's what we're seeing here with her. Like the enemy is just fighting for her. But the good thing is that God already has her soul. But we're just looking for that full commitment, because we know that God has a purpose for her life. And it's just such an incredible story how she's been raised in the system, deemed a failure, deemed a loser in the culture for multiple reasons, because on paper it looks like it. But God says, that's my daughter, and I have a beautiful plan for her life. And so God's not given up on her. I think that would just be such an easy death. And so many people would say that, but that's not how God operates. Mm-hmm. He's the God of miracles, and she is going to be one of his greatest miracles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a whirlwind. Sometimes we don't know what's a win, what's a loss. Sometimes we don't know, and we're just, tell the people, what is at this point, like, what is her having these encounters, but still being, struggling through this life? What is our prayer for her?
Oh, that's such a good conversation. I mean, the good thing is that she's been touched by the Lord through safe passage, and that she continually calls us because she knows we are her safe encounter, her safe place, and her just her safety net. So our prayer is that she continues to reach out until she finally has that strength on her own. We're to carry one another's burdens, and in her weakness, Jesus' strength is made perfect. But she sees herself as strong because she's surviving that lifestyle, but she needs to see she's weak and let Jesus' strength come in. So I guess just to continue to reach out to us and never feel rejected, and also that she would finally find her place where she feels comfortable enough for full recovery.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, I've heard so many stories of people going down a certain pathway, and about Jesus, and you know just a little bit about him, but there's a day that comes where it's like made real, and it's like railroads click in your spirit and in your soul. And like, I've literally heard stories of people going one way for so long. One day, it's not like anything happened. It's just like there's a reality that clicks. There's a veil that's removed, and they totally switch that gear, and they change pathways. And I think, like, when this has been your life, it's almost like a radical encounter that we're praying for. Is that my prayer for her is that it would radically click in her heart that the Lord has good plans for her.
Yes.
And she's gonna make it. And so that's my prayer. She would just wake up so soon and have a hope for her life, and just move out and move on.
Easily said. It's the aha moments. Like, she had the aha moment that Jesus is real. The Lord is real, because she could have died from that overdose permanently.
Yeah.
But now the next step is, okay, he really does have a good life for me. Mm-hmm. So I want to live that life. Mm-hmm. She has a willingness to reach out. And so I pray that she has the willingness to fulfill that calling, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. You know, last week she said to me, she said, I don't trust anybody, but I trust the people you guys put into my life. That says a lot. And so I think what we're asking today is that the people who are watching this would join us in prayer. You can call her Hannah in your prayers, and the Lord will know who Hannah is. And so we are asking that you join us in prayer for this amazing team who cracks us up, is so high-spirited, and we believe in. So that's what we're asking today from everyone who's watching.